Mickey Rourke, if that's a name you haven't heard in a while, he went on Piers Morgan and he said all the things.
The most explosive interview ever.
He's like,
for no reason.
I feel like he cliff notes. Like he did a cliff notes of current events and was like, this is the stuff we're going to talk about.
I watched the interview for a few minutes, and it really was actually quite dark because they first were talking about his personal history and his own life and career, and a lot of it had to do with like growing up in an abusive household, and like he was talking about how he had to like choose to become a man at the age of 14, and just like he clearly is a very like hurt person and maybe is making comments that are bombastic because of that.
I think he's also an actor, and he knows I think he's if anybody hasn't seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, it's really, 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 really good.
That stares at me dead in the eyes.
Look and go see. Okay, so it says this says Mickey Rourke calls out Tom Cruise, says that he's irrelevant as an actor. Like I feel like
you remember when I said that like 6 months ago?
That's almost
Mickey Rourke is just ripping me off.
Like it's that, but then it's like Top Gun Maverick just became the highest grossing Paramount movie of all time in its first run. Titanic ended up making more.
Yeah.
With its second run, but Top Gun Maverick just passed 600.
There were a lot of people in the comments basically saying that Mickey Rourke is jealous and he's being petty.
I also think it's like, no one's talking about Mickey Rourke. You know how to get Mickey Rourke's name back out there?
He's smart.
Attacked a guy who's like having a good summer.
He says, the guy's been doing the same effing part for 35 years. I got respect for that.
I have to object immediately. And again, I at one point was on the show and said, like, I have literally never thought about Tom Cruise ever, Brett. I think he is sort of irrelevant. But
you were all wrong.
He hasn't played the same part, although he has played multiple military members. I would say Vin Diesel has been playing this same part for 20 years in Fast and the Furious 10. He played it, took a long break, did play other military roles, and then returned to the character. Like, that's not really a fair critique.
And then ruined Fast and Furious.
No, she's talking about Tom Cruise.
Like, did Top Gun, did some other stuff, then Top Gun again. Whereas Vin Diesel is like, another one.
Someone also commented that Tom Cruise is the last real movie star.
Yes, he is.
Is that true?
I believe so. I believe that at the very least, he is the last big, when you think of like I don't really think of George Clooney.
I think
anymore.
This is like an old guard, new guard thing.
Yes.
I think being like a movie star has changed because we're so integrated with other platforms and social media now.
So I want to point out that Live, Die, Repeat. Like all of his movies, I actually reject the idea that he plays the same character over and over again. Vanilla Sky
this idea.
I reject it. Vanilla Sky is nothing like Mission Impossible, which is nothing.
Thank you.
Did you guys see Edge of Tomorrow?
No,
I did not.
Okay. I'm not a huge.
I've seen A Few Good Men.
There you go.
Where he plays a Navy lawyer.
His horrible Mummy movie, not anything like those other characters, but it is a horrible movie. That's fine. He played Jack Reacher. That's a little bit like it, but it's like I look at all this stuff, Night and Day, which literally no one remembers, but me. War of the Worlds, Collateral. I love Collateral. That's one of my favorite movies. The Last Samurai. None of these are the same. So I think Mickey.
Whereas Vin Diesel over here has been
exactly
like again and again and again and in space and again.
So he says the guy's been doing the same effing part for 35 years. I got no respect for that. I don't care about money and power. Yes, you do.
It's just that I would like it if I could have some.
I care about when I watch Al Pacino work and Christopher Walken and De Niro's early work, Richard Harris work, Ray Winstone's work. That's the kind of actor I want to be like. Monty Clift and Brando back in the day, and a lot of guys that try to stretch as actors. I think he's irrelevant in my world. So he's like passing himself off as like an auteur type.
He's holier than Tom Cruise.
Yes, he is much holier than me. Maybe he just really hates Scientology.
Well, it is a cult, and Brett's a Scientologist.
If that's the
apologist.
reason he's criticizing Tom Cruise, then
maybe I'll get a shirt.
That actually never came up, though. Like, he's just saying that, like, it's weirdly like, well, I know he's been in a lot of movies, but, like, it doesn't really matter. But, like, and no offense to Mickey Rourke on this, I actually have no idea if I've ever seen him in anything.
You said I'm a Scientologist apologist. I need a shirt that says Scientologist.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was making this comment to be inflammatory on purpose necessarily.
Perhaps not.
Or to get attention.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was a calculated thing like that, but when you're like late in your career and the stakes are lower, you kind of just mouth off on
and,
TV.
And they were prominent around the same. They were both big in the 80s, right?
Yeah. That's what they say here. So he says, it says both Rourke and Cruise rose to prominence during the 80s, with Rourke appearing in such films as Diner, Rumblefish, and The Pope of Greenwich Village. I never saw that. At the same time, Cruise was playing iconic parts in Risky Business, The Color of Money, Rain Man, and of course, Top Gun. While Rourke argues that Cruise never broke away from those types of roles, what does he mean by that?
What types?
Like showy.
Risky Business is nothing like Rain Man, is nothing like Mission Impossible.
Is it like Mission Impossible? Because he's best known for like Mission Impossible and Top Gun, and they're both like kind of macho action
Eyes Wide
movies.
Shut is nothing like any of those.
This is really making you mad.
I think part of it is like
he's doing an affront to art by
wow.
by categorizing all of those the same. I don't even know if I necessarily agree with saying that Vin Diesel has played the same role for 10 years, and he certainly doesn't have the range that Tom Cruise does, but it's not like Bloodshot or whatever it was is the same thing as Mission Impossible. They're both just kind of bleh. It's a very broad generalization. I'm not a fan. So I think Mickey Rourke was reaching on this one, but it's not just that. It's also that what was your other favorite of the ones you said? The Vladimir Putin one. Or he's like, I feel like he did the thing where it's checks notes. Amber Heard, like he had.
Yeah, the Amber Heard thing is just so random. Like, I feel like. Was Piers Morgan just kind of pushing him into these topics? Yeah.
So he says, I've known Johnny for many years, but so he says Mickey Rourke accuses Amber Heard of being a gold digger after the verdict. So he says, I've known Johnny for many years. I don't really know. What, Johnny Depp has been playing Captain Jack Sparrow for like 20 years. Is he a bad actor?
He's so irrelevant.
He's so irrelevant because he's playing the same
role. He married a crazy lady and then had a big defamation case to stay relevant.
So he says, I've known Johnny for many years, but don't really know him intimately. Rourke, who had criticized Tom Cruise earlier in the interview, responded. All I could say is I was in a situation one time where I was blamed for something that I didn't do, Rourke went on. It cost me movie jobs for several years and gave me a bad reputation. And finally, the truth came out, but the truth came out after I lost movies and I lost jobs. And so I felt bad for somebody that is trying to get chopped down by some gold digger, you know?
The article left that ambiguous, but do you know why he was blacklisted, or was he blacklisted at all?
There was something I couldn't remember. Did he just kind of
step back from taking roles for a while and then blamed it on?
I don't know what the reasoning.
Or was he just one of those people who they were like, he's difficult to work with, we don't want to cast him anymore? Well, that's what was like. I got blacklisted.
Yeah, that people were saying like, well, he showed up to sets on drugs and arguing with people. And
I also want to point out that it's not the first time he's accused a woman of being a gold digger. He said the same thing about Melania Trump. Yes.
How dare he?
I was trying to look into. So basically, he says in this interview, he's like, he got a visit from the Secret Service for something that he said about Donald Trump, I guess, back in like 2016 or 2018.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it says, where is it here? It says, Mickey Rourke shocked to learn that Vladimir Putin is Vladimir Putin. That's really just funny for the headline. But it says, where did it go here? Where he talks about, he wouldn't tell Piers Morgan what it was that he said. He's like, guess, I don't want to.
He's like, if I say it again, they'll come back.
That's exactly what he says in the interview. So what I found was, it says, he calls Donald Trump a bully and a B word. Very, very, so I don't know if that's, he says, and calls his wife Melania a gold digger. So I feel like he just looked for all the things that are popular right now.
He's just a major shit talker, which I kind of respect.
I feel like he's trying to take a tour as like a soundbite guy. They're like, nothing's like, it's a slow news
sucks
week.
Because when he was trying to talk about himself and his personal struggles, Piers Morgan was like, didn't seem exactly like he was listening or cared. And then, of course, ironically, as it's called, Piers Morgan Uncensored, he was like, can you not use bad language like that, please?
It says, reacting to Morgan's interview with Rourke, the quote, so on the Secret Service, some viewers commented that you should have expected the House visit after threatening a sitting president. It didn't sound like a threat to me unless I could have missed a separate article where he said something more than just calling him a bully. I mean, Donald Trump
I think if you're just reading a headline, like probably the full quote is not being represented.
So Morgan says, when did you have one before? He says, about 6 months ago. This is in reference to the what was happening. He says, let me go back up here. It says, they call it the United States of America, but it's now the divided States of America. That was very clever, Mickey. That was very clever. And there's one big...
Thank you for this.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And it got fixed today, guys. There was I know that there was issues with the way the super chats were going yesterday. Like me and Chris had to come up here and
we had Christopher Poole help us fix it.
So it says and there's one big reason for that, but I'm not going to get into it because I don't need another visit from the Secret Service. Rourke told host
Such
Piers
a drama
Morgan,
queen.
He says that he was explaining that he had posted a picture on Twitter of the Statue of Liberty crying. The answers from Rourke to Morgan questioning became shorter from that point on. He says, when did you have one before? Oh, about 6 months ago. Why? Take a wild guess. Was it something to do with President Trump? Yeah. What did you say about him? Just the truth. Which is what? Read my mind. Read my mind. Or is that read my mind? And the Secret Service actually came to see you? Oh, yeah. And what did they say? A lot of S way over my head, so I got nothing to say anymore about nothing. It's like he literally just threw it out there, and then it's like, but, nothing about nothing. Like,
I wonder it's because if Piers Morgan wasn't seeming super interested, he's like, I know if I throw this out there, it'll get his attention.
The point is, what did you call it? Soundbite guy? Like,
yeah, it seems like it's been a slow news week, so they're like, hey, if you want to come in here and say some stuff, like we'll start doing a bunch of articles.
I really just wanted to cover it because these were all separate articles from different things. So I think you're exactly right that he's like literally all of this stuff came from different news sites where they're like, Mickey Rourke says all the things.
I'm going to talk about Trump and Putin and Amber Heard.
What is he said about Putin? I want to at least look at that. That was funny.
He was shocked. Wait. What did he say?
It says Rourke traveled to St. Petersburg alongside Putin to visit children stricken with incurable cancer. I looked over at Vladimir and I could see somebody that was genuinely concerned about what we were, about where we were, and someone who was empathetic, and he was there for a sincere reason, said the actor. He then compared the memory to the Vladimir Putin of the modern age, currently engaged in a typically Russian form of brutal and indiscriminate warfare against Ukraine and innocent men and women and children. I don't understand what he wants, Rourke began, and it's not only combatants that are getting killed, but old people are getting killed, young people are getting killed, schools are getting targeted, hospitals are getting targeted, all that stuff. It's not right. He later spoke... What?
Never in my life has there been a world event or a piece of news where I've thought, I wonder what Mickey Rourke thinks.
Similar to Meghan McCain.
Like, why are we asking him about this?
I love it.
This is stupid.
Rourke put his sunglasses on to hide the tears while struggling to talk about how he felt.
Yeah, I bet.
This just... It makes me sad.
I feel like he really is like, news stations must have it on speed dial. Be like, there's nothing going on this week. Call Mickey. He'll say something crazy.
I love it. You should make the wrestler too. There's some super chats there.
Slav K. Nikki, sorry, I still don't know how to say your name, said, thanks, Mary, for attempting the name. Well, you didn't tell me how to say it this time.
It's still a mystery.
It was also the same that got Tim to read the Luke Shaftcam bit from 545. I'm guessing you're meaning episode 545 of IRL.
Luke
and then the rest of that message, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know what you said. Goofer Trooper said, Brett. Well,
thank you.
What say you?
Voting for you.
Thank you.
1,000-foot deep end said, when y'all finally get merch made, you need a shirt that says, I'm not reading that, Mary Moore. Look, if you guys didn't send such risque super chats, then I would be able to read them more often.
It's what we love about you guys.
We're not an late night show. We're a middle of the afternoon show.
Yes.
It would be great to do Pop Culture Crisis After Dark.
We're like right at
for the website.
We're at like after school special time.
Yeah. We kind of are like
the
reading
kids are
Rainbow.
Just racing home from school to watch their favorite podcast.
We're kind of reading Rainbow / Magic School Bus esque.
Is that what we're doing here?
Yes, that's what we are.
Fascinating.
Gold Mecro said, what games you nerds playing right now? I don't play video games.
I'm incredibly serious as a
why
person.
Is it that everything that's relevant to Dane is happening the week that Dane is not around?
Yep. I am in the midst of
so the universe knows that we miss
playing an emulated version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist.
I've gotten really into Rubik's Cubes lately.
Oh, man.
But I'm not good at them. I'm okay, but I'm not great.
Chris is good at them.
Someone said Mickey Rourke is 69 and dying to be relevant again. Also, something about his cadence and speaking reminded me of Caitlyn Jenner.
A little bit. I think it kind of looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
You take that back.
There's a love child between Doug the Bounty Hunter and Caitlyn Jenner, and then that would be it.
Mickey Rourke, yes.
You guys take that back. Dog the Bounty Hunter would never. I will walk off this set.
Trooper said, I live for Brett's rants, heart emoji.
Yes, well, I love to rant when you insult, when you call Tom Cruise playing the same role over and over again. Yeah.
Brett's gonna go off.
Yes, exactly.
He also said, gotta get a shirt with Hannah Claire saying, read a book. It's good advice. It is solid
Look, there's
advice.
lots of cool stuff in books, guys. I know they're not as flashy as TVs, but they are cool.
Waffle Sensei, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Waffles, it's been a while, dude.
He's mad because everyone saw Iron Man 2 and it was bad. No one saw The Wrestler and it was good. Everyone sees Tom Cruise movies and they're basically all good. Edge of Tomorrow is a personal favorite.
You know, he's that's an interesting point to make. Is like, doesn't that kind of suck? Like you get your big shot. And the one that everybody has seen is the one that is objectively not that good. And then your best role is the one where you wish everyone saw it and then nobody did.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, maybe you have to live for just knowing that you played a good part. Like, I hate to say that.
Like, he thinks he's done more thoughtful, artsy roles, while Cruise has done mainstream action style. Rourke fancies himself an artiste.
And I hate that. There's nothing wrong with being an artiste, but there's nothing wrong with making, mainstream stuff that people go to get away from their problems for 2 and a half.
Yeah, I think when you're going to be an artiste about things, you have to sometimes accept that, like, you're not going to have the mainstream glory.
I'm going to call you a nerd and a dork and tell you that you're full of yourself.
Just do it because you like it, Mickey.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Eric Odolsky said, let's not forget when Vin called The Rock little brother.
Yeah, does that make...
I don't think personal?
No, they don't like it. They don't like each other. The Rock and Vin Diesel.
I
think they should butt heads. They're bald heads.
Have you ever seen that meme of The Rock?
So funny.
The Rock.
They have to run full force at each other.
The meme of The Rock when he's 23 and the meme of The Rock now, it says only The Rock could make The Rock look like a pussy. He's like 3 times bigger now. Than
like a candy ass?
Yeah.
Joseph said, Brett, you leveled up with that shopping comment. What comment?
Which one?
We'll have to play it back.
Me.
We don't even remember what we were talking about 10 minutes ago.
We don't even listen to ourselves, but we're glad you're all here.
Thanks for joining us. Jonathan Harris said, on the point of Vin Diesel, if I got paid millions of dollars to play one role that I actually enjoyed with people I like working with, why would I want to change roles? Sounds like someone
absolutely.
Yeah, but no one likes working with Vin Diesel. That's my only counterpoint to that comment.
The Rock doesn't like working with Vin Diesel.
And the director guy who was in it.
And who,
winced away from
the guy who left for the last one. Yeah, but he gets along with Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, and
I thought the whole thing was that people didn't like working with him because he shows up and doesn't know his lines and whatever else. Mm-hmm. But guys, I'm not the authority on this. I just oppose the fact that there have been 10 Fast and Furious.
Someone said, I think Mary is just illiterate. She seems to not want to read a lot of these super chats. Sorry that I don't want to say something about Brett's dumper.
Oh, man.
What is wrong with you people? Anyway, Jonathan Harris.
Clip that audio.
Just me saying Brett's dumper. I think they said dumpy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not reading that. No.
Too late now.
You win, okay?
Also, if she couldn't read, she would attempt it and mess it up. She saw it and was like, I'm not doing it.
It proves comprehension, actually.
Yeah. Jonathan Harris said, get Brett on Timcast and mention Luke's shaft cam. Thank you for talking about Luke's shaft.
I don't understand. You guys, this is
I love this
episode.
Crisis. I love you so much, Super Chatters. Unavailable ID name said, you guys are the new TRL? Wow.
Does that make me Carson Daly?
That's
Total Request Live.
Tough act to follow.
How do you not know what TRL is?
I don't know. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it was on MTV. I mean, that's before my time, but I know of it.
You're just studying that part of history.
Yeah. She loves the early 2000s. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, Brett.
I'm kind of freaked out right now that Hannah Claire doesn't know what TRL is.
I was busy reading books. What can I say?
Yeah, apparently. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.